उत्तिष्ठित जाग्रत प्राप्य वराणि बोधतः।
Hello friends, how are you? Good afternoon. We have the pleasure of having Dr. Shikha Gupta, who's a program coordinator of BBA here, associate professor, and is also the university topper in financial management in her MBA course. She has done her PhD in financial management. So basically, we are going to talk about how the finance function is changing. How is it relevant for the what are the pillars of financial management? And um, do we still subscribe to the idea of wealth maximization? In other words, at a broader plane, what is corporate finance, what is managerial finance, what is traditional finance? So let's start with the first question of what is the importance of financial management for younger person, Gen Z, not like us, because a lot of digitization is there. They are very good at it. But your idea of the impact.
All right. First of all, thank you, sir, for such a warm welcome. And it's my pleasure to work on this guidelines with Khurana, sir. And I always say to my students, especially the Gen Z, as sir has already mentioned, that we have to work on the collaborative learning nowadays. Just imagine you have a sky full of stars, but only one is shining. So we have to share information with each other so that we all can light up together. So moving ahead with the first answer, which sir has just asked me, that what is the role or scope of financial management for Gen Z? See, there's many terms which are interchangeably used nowadays. Some people say it's financial management, some says it's corporate finance, some says it is managerial finance, but actually this is one and the same thing. But yes, I must agree, because of the globalization, the paradigm has entirely changed. Earlier, it was only referred to management of finance. Means, as a finance manager, my role was only confined to managing the funds. But nowadays, because of the cutthroat competition, it has changed a lot. Earlier, we were talking about only managing finance, but now we are talking about budgeting, we are talking about fund procurement, we are talking about cash management. You talk about credit management, which is one of the major issue with the banks, especially. So it has a wider scope, and there are certain other things which we will discuss further.
Fair enough. Then can you elaborate on these three pillars of financial management?
Yes. In brief, if I have to explain that what are the three pillars, you can learn it like FDI. It's not foreign direct investment. It's financing decision, it's dividend decision, and it's investment decision.
Three main decisions.
Three main decisions are known as three pillars of FM or financial management. The first one is the financing decision. Just imagine you are starting a business. What we need to start a business, sir? Apart from a good business plan, what I need? Anything which came to your mind? We must have seen Shark Tank. We all need funds. So funds is the lifeblood of any organization. We cannot do marketing, we cannot hire people, we cannot have anything without finance. So the first function is the financing, from where I'll get the funds in my business. So there has to be optimum mix, that is the borrowed fund and the owner's fund. One is the borrowed fund in the form of debentures, in the form of bonds I can have from my bondholders. Second option is your shares, equity shares or preference shares, where I am giving you dividend and not the fixed interest income. Once the funds are procured, then we move to the second decision, that is investment decision. Where should I invest that fund which I have procured with so much of effort? I need to prudently invest that fund. Either I can invest in short term or I can invest in long term. Let's imagine when we go to the home and we have a salary of 1 lakh rupees in per month in our hand. Don't you think we also optimize? We keep some amount in investment, we keep some amount in our pocket for day-to-day expenditures, because we cannot just draw a check for every small expenditures, right? So, sir, what happened? For day-to-day working, what we call is working capital management. Means we have to keep sufficient money so that we meet day-to-day expenditures like payment of salaries, buying of raw materials and all. And second is the long-term decision, which is known as capital budgeting.
Okay, you mentioned something about, if you have a lakh of rupees, there will be certain expenditure, let's say 50,000, then you have 50,000 spare, then you pay some EMIs, and then
Right.
you invest in insurance, and you invest in mutual funds, and therefore you do the optimization there. But do we handle the subject of personal financial planning anyway?
Yes, sir. Anyways, of finance, anybody, if you're talking about personal level or at the organizational level, fund is always a scarce resource.
No, scales is all right. But is corporate finance same as household financial management?
No, sir. Corporate finance is because of the separate legal entity concept,
Okay.
which we always teach to our students,
Correct.
that company and its people are two different separate entities.
Yeah.
Company has a common stamp, which is known as common seal,
Yeah.
and individual has a signature. So my personal finance is different, but yes, I can manage them separately. But if I'm the owner of the company, then corporate finance is.
But as a
something
subject area, isn't personal financial planning separate?
Yes, it is a separate subject, and yes, definitely we will discuss that in a separate segment.
So then I think we obviously come to the question that what is the objective of corporate finance these days? What are we trying to maximize there? What are we trying to optimize there?
Right. I'll just cover up that third pillar of FM.
Okay,
First was financing, second was investment, third was the dividend decision.
fine.
When I've invested my fund in short term or long term fund, I'll definitely get some income. And then I have to decide. I have a dilemma as a finance manager where I should invest my fund. Should I keep it with myself? Should I retain my earnings in the form of retained earning for the expansion of the business? Or should I give it to the shareholders, which is in the form of dividend? Because obviously shareholders want to have maximum dividend. So that is again a decision, crucial decision, which will affect the satisfaction level of your shareholder. Now that is the point which leads us to the objective of financial management, which you were asking, sir. If you talk about the objectives, many people, if you talk about a layman, they will say the main objective of any firm is profit maximization. Yes, we are not doing charity. Yes, we are working to maximize the profit, no doubt about it. But it is not the sole objective. There are many criticism nowadays because you must have seen, sir, nowadays CSR has increased a lot. People are doing social work also. People are working for society, right? We have seen the ad of PNG as well, who are working for society because their sole objective is not profit
May I
maximization.
interrupt you? When
Sure.
you mentioned CSR, not everybody may be familiar with it.
Yeah.
We're talking about corporate social responsibility.
Yes, we are talking about corporate social
Okay, so
responsibility.
can you explain that a bit?
So, corporate social responsibility means yes, we are working, we are running a business. It is for the people. Just to maximize the profit, I cannot play with the emotions of my investors, my customers, my employees. We have witnessed earlier times there are many companies who are not giving safety jackets to the employees, or not paying for the overtime, or dumping the raw material in the river. So that is all against the corporate social responsibility. We have certain responsibilities toward the society. Just to maximize the profit, you cannot run away everything because we are part of the society.
Um, then would you consider wealth maximization as a possible objective by itself?
Right, sir. If you talk about the sustainable development, if you want your customer to be loyal customer, we talk about brand loyalty, customer loyalty. It is only possible if you are focusing on wealth maximization. Profit maximization is a short-sighted approach. If it's not a like sustainable approach, because you can befool your customer, you can befool your employees only once. But when they got to know that you are working solely for profit, they will definitely switch to the
This
sustainable
wealth
form.
maximization is in country context, company context, or individual context.
So wealth maximization is in the context of the shareholder.
Okay.
If my shareholder is happy,
Mm.
if I'm giving returns on time, I can give returns only on time if I'm earning on time. And how I could do that? If I am taking care of everyone. So if I'm giving, for example, you are my shareholder, I'm giving returns on time.
So is this wealth maximization part of financial management?
Yes, sir. It is the objective. It is actually sustainable objective of financial management.
What is sustainable?
Sustainable is, sir, for long run. If you ask me, Shikha, I want to maximize profit for this year. Okay. So if you are earning even if 10 lakh rupees or 10 crore rupees in a day, in a year, so it does not give me a clear message that whether you are on the top 10 in the industry or you have improved from the previous year. It is not clear. But when you are maximizing the wealth of the shareholder, then you can say whenever you go to the stock market, you will find my shares are on the bull run and not on the bear.
Okay, Dr. Shikha Gupta, as an introductory exchange of views on financial management and its relevance for today's generation and so on, that is very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.